Dear friends in the Dhamma, this is my Dhamma talk about the practice of the Buddhist teaching. Now, if somebody would ask you what means the word Dharma or Dhamma, what would you answer? So if somebody, let's say, who has no idea about the Buddhist teaching, not knowing about the Dharma, he asks you what means the word Dharma to you. Now, I think usually people would answer, it is the teaching of the Buddha. Or some would say it is any kind of good practice or righteous living. But if we take the Dharma in a deeper way, it means the path to enlightenment. So anything that helps you, any technique, any practice, any meditation, anything that helps you to advance spiritually and lead to awakening or to enlightenment is called the Dharma or the Dharmic path to enlightenment. The Buddha analyzed it further into the Noble Eightfold Path. He says, you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead to enlightenment. The Eightfold Path is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, and right mindfulness. Ehipassiko, experience for yourself. Now, above all other advices of the Buddha, Ehipassiko comes at the highest level. So meaning every part of the Buddhist teaching can be analyzed, practiced, and put to the test. And only if you see yourself, this is helping me, this is good for my day-to-day life, it helps me to advance spiritually, then only take it as something useful, as something important. Nobody can be told what the Matrix is, referring to the movie The Matrix, very similar to our own reality, where people believe they are living their lives as they please, but actually they are living in a dream-like state, which the Buddha called, not Matrix, but he says Mahamaya, the great illusion. And if you analyze the word Maya and Matrix, they come actually from the same root. So this isn't real, but what is real? How do we define reality? What is reality? Is it not that everything is happening in our mind? Mano Bubangama Dhamma, Mano Setta, Mano Maya. Mind is the forerunner, mind made are all things. Now, quantum physics confirms many of these deep teachings of the Buddha, that without consciousness there is no existence or no physical reality out there. It is all just energy in wave form. Only if it comes together with consciousness, with awareness, then it becomes a thing, it becomes physical in our mind. Elon Musk, the famous CEO of Tesla cars and SpaceX, says this: there is 1 in a billion chance that we are living in base reality. Meaning we are living in an illusion, we are living in a dreamlike state, with what he calls like a animation or a projection, something like a computer game. So the Buddha called it Mahamaya, the great illusion, from which we are supposed to wake up in order to see things as they are. So liberation comes only through practice. We can discuss and argue about the Buddhist teaching our whole lifetime, but we will not be able to realize the Buddhist teaching. So the only way to find out if the Dharma is working, if this is actually the true practice, you have to put it to the test. You have to use it in your meditation, use it in your day-to-day life, and only if you yourself can see, this is actually working for me, this is good for me, My negative emotions are getting less. My good qualities are getting more. Then only take it as the true teaching of the Buddha. We are all wandering throughout samsara. We are reborn again and again. Each time we come here, we get entangled in worldly activities, in education, job, marriage, family, enjoyments. Then we grow old, we get sick, and one day we die. Now we have repeated this cycle again and again. Each time we are reborn, we get entangled, we get involved, we get caught up with external things, and then our life comes to an end again. But the real reason why we are wandering throughout samsara is to learn a lesson, is to move on, to progress spiritually, and to reach stages of awakening. Vipassana was the meditation the Buddha was using and what was teaching. It means to see things as they are. So in Vipassana meditation, you develop full awareness, full mindfulness of the present moment. You try to understand the workings of your mind. You try to understand how the mind is grasping and getting involved in dukkha over and over again. And through this meditation, through mindfulness and awareness, you can retrain your mind not to grasp anything, to let go of all the impressions, and to attain real freedom, peace, and happiness. So liberate yourself from your mind. All the saints say the same thing. Just watch your mind, work on your mind, and liberate your mind from all the defilements. So expanding consciousness is actually what we are doing in meditation. So everybody has a certain amount of consciousness. But if we could expand that consciousness, we could live on a completely different level. We are all possibility, meaning we are all universal consciousness. Through realizing or reaching stages of awakening, we reconnect to the universal consciousness. We reach higher levels of awareness, understanding, and wisdom. There is no wisdom without meditation. Meditation is the only path to enlightenment. Also, there may be many different ways out there, and I am aware of at least 10 or 15 meditation systems which are practically working. Also, they may be starting at quite a different point, but there may be many different meditations which are working and lead to enlightenment. Important is that you use awareness, mindfulness, observation of whatever is going on in your body and mind. So Maya is the great illusion we are in. We are thinking this reality is real. This is the only reality out there. We think there is a I, a me, or a mine. And we get caught up in this grasping and in this samsaric journey again and again. So what we should do, we should look behind the curtain to see what is behind there, behind this illusion. We should try to see things as they are. So if our reality is just a dream, how to find out if the dream is so real and we have been in this dream our whole life? So how could you ever find out if this reality is real or not? And the answer is the only way to find out is when you wake up from it. So the moment you wake up from this reality, from this illusion, you realize it was just a dream. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth, Albert Einstein. Now, believing blindly in anything will be a hindrance for your progress towards enlightenment. That belief may be in a religion, in a philosophy, in a race or ideology, whatever it may be. Grasp anything strongly and it will be a hindrance for your spiritual progress. Yoga vijayati puri. Only through meditation we can gain freedom and enlightenment. Theoretical understanding may be useful in the beginning, but not very helpful when you start with meditation. When you start with meditation, try to get your own experience. And later on, you can try to compare your experience with the knowledge in the books. A certain understanding of the law of karma is also necessary. We have to understand that the law of karma is universal, non-man-made, binding, immutable. Immutable conditions that govern your mind. So whatever we put out there, good or bad, it is coming back to us. There's no escaping from the result of your karma. Only in this present moment we can be aware and mindful not to create any bad karma for the future. Living in harmony with the natural law, with the law of karma, leads to freedom, peace, prosperity, survival, progress and happiness. Living in opposition to natural law, or in opposition to the law of karma, leads to more and more control, enslavement, wars, stagnation, suffering, disease and fear. So whenever we adjust our life according to the law of karma, it leads to all the good things in our life. So it attracts all the positive things in our life. Going against the law of karma leads to all these negative results in our life. Now if we start with Vipassana meditation with the aim to understand our mind, understand reality, we have to start with the things which are present in this moment. Now the breath is a very good point to start, since the breath is always there. It is always also very closely connected to your mind. Whenever your mind gets restless, your breath gets restless. And whenever your mind calms down, your breath calms down. So you start with watching your breath. But at the same time, you're also watching the six senses. You watch the sounds coming through your ears. You watch the sensations coming through your body. You watch the images coming through your eyes. You watch the taste coming through your tongue. You watch the smells coming through your nose. And you watch the thoughts arising in your mind. So these are the 6 meditation objects you're using in your Vipassana meditation. And we retrain our mind not to grasp anything, just to let go of all these impressions. So we have to understand the workings of our mind. We go very deep, we analyze the deepest workings of our mind. And we try to retrain the mind not to grasp anything. In this Panchupadana skandha, this is another analysis of how the mind is grasping. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa would mean, let's say you hear a sound. The sound is the Rupa. Vedana is the connection. The sound reaches your ears, so it's getting connected. Sanya means sign, or you become aware, I am hearing something. Sankhara would mean you start analyzing it as pleasant or unpleasant. You say, I like this sound, or I don't like this sound. And Vijnana, that memory goes into the subconsciousness and is stored there as a new karma. So again and again we go to this Panchupadana skandha and we create new karma from moment to moment. In Vipassana meditation, we try to stop this cycle of creating new karma, and we can stop it at the sanya level. So we cannot stop the sound coming in. We cannot stop the vedana, the connection to my ears. I can also not stop the sanya, that I become aware I'm hearing something. But in Vipassana meditation, I try to note this sound with an equanimous mind. So whenever I hear a sound, I just say, it is a sound, I'm hearing a sound. And then I move on with my meditation. Doing that well enough, you do not create any new karma. It's the opposite, because no new karma is created. All the past memories are coming up from your subconsciousness. If you note those again very mindfully, you pay off all the karmical memories in your subconsciousness. You clean out your mind from all the karmas. Do this good enough and long enough, and all the heavy karmas will be paid off. You're not creating any new karma, and you will be able to free your mind from all defilements. So in this chain of 5, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, the Buddha found the weakest link, which is Sanya. So at the Sanya level, we can stop creating new karma and break this cycle of creating new karmas again and again. Also important, if you start with meditation, put the theory aside. As already mentioned, it may be useful in the beginning to have a certain theoretical understanding of the Dharma, of the Buddhist teaching. But once you start with meditation, it may become a hindrance. So it's better just to leave it aside and just practice your meditation. So liberate yourself from the bondage of craving. Let go of all the desires. Free your mind, and you will be able to experience happiness and peace like never before. So practice is the essence of the Buddhist teaching. If you do not practice the Buddhist teaching, you cannot be called a real Buddhist. Those who feel a calling for meditation and for spiritual practice usually have also the karma for it. So if somebody feels like doing meditation, that means he or she has a good karma, has the karma to actually make some progress in meditation. While on the other hand, people hear about meditation, they are not interested. They do not understand what it is about. That means they don't have a calling, and most probably they also don't have the right karma for it. But for those who are practicing, it is a universal part. Meditation or the technique of Vipassana can be used for anybody. Anybody who has a mind, anybody who has 6 senses, can use this technique of Vipassana meditation to free the mind from all defilements and to realize stages of awakening. There are 3 different types of wisdom mentioned in the Buddhist texts. First one is called Suttamaya Panya, which is the theoretical knowledge. So I read a book, I listen to a Dhamma talk, I hear something from somebody, and I get some understanding. Yes, I read about it, I heard it. That is the first level of wisdom. The second level is Chintamaya Panya, means intellectual understanding. So whatever I read in a book, I think about it. I try to understand it fully, intellectually. That leads to a higher type of wisdom. The third level of wisdom is called Bhavanamaya Panya. It's the highest form of wisdom. It is experiential wisdom. And Bhavanamaya Panya can only be gained through meditation and spiritual practice. Suttamaya Panya and Chintamaya Panya may be useful for Bhavanamaya Panya, but it is only gained through experience, through meditation, through understanding things on an experiential level. So the seed of Dhamma is very well sown. We can see the Dharma of the Buddha is still alive. Also, Buddhism is turning more and more into a ritualistic ideology. The deeper parts of the Buddhist teaching are still available. So whoever feels a calling to do some meditation, the opportunity is still there. Meditation techniques and systems are still out there. We can still get guidance from teachers and experienced meditators. It is still possible to practice the Buddhist teaching, to practice vipassana, and to realize stages of awakening. So I hope that all of you will continue with their meditation, follow your calling, go deeper and deeper into this vipassana meditation. It is a wonderful technique which can free your mind from all defilements. So may you all make quick progress in your meditation, reach stages of awakening. May you all be well and happy and realize enlightenment. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sabidyo vivachantu saparogo vinasatu Mādhi bhavatantarayo sukhi dikāyuko bhava Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakantu sabba devata Sabba buddha anubhavena sada sati bhavantu te.